Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to the next ride operator safety video. We are back at the yards, and we have a ginormous premiere. So, this is Ignition, opened in 2001. Fun fact, it is the only premier LIM coaster to have lap bars from the start. This never had shoulder harnesses. This was the first and only premier LIM coaster, like full-size one, to open with lap bars. It's had these trains ever since it opened as combustion. It was combustion for a little while, then it had an Eggman theme when Eggman Land got built. And then in 2020, around that time, it got redone, got a new panel, new control system, new queue building built, and now it's Ignition. And now it's Theme 2 in Engine Lab. So, let's go forward, let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and move us forward at a more brisk pace here. So that whole thing is not just the queue building. Let's go in here for a second. This is like a nice shade plaza. You've got some, we're gonna put benches in here soon. We had to take them out for a while to renovate, but we'll put them back in here soon. You got flowers, you got trees. This whole thing is the maintenance headquarters. I don't know if you can see it. You need to have a maintenance key to go in there, but see it through there? That's our maintenance headquarters right back there. This is where some of the more intense maintenance gets done throughout the park, and then we just open this gate, drive through here, drive through the rest of the midway, and drive it where it needs to go. And there's some more theming. You can take a look from outside. Got some engines being built, you got some workshops, stuff like that. Continuing through here, the rest of our midway. This is where you have the lockers. We have a ton of lockers because they're free for the length of the queue, plus 1 hour, and that time pauses if the ride goes down. It also means that during downtimes it won't let you rent any more lockers, though. It won't let you start a rental. It'll let you end one, it won't let you start one. I want to see what it looks like. And run through here real quick. In that direction over there is the path to Wildcat. The path to Wildcat and Panther, Midwest Woods section of the park. And during Haunt, it's the path to Lost Jungle of Kambasa Kingdom, which is our newest haunt. It's a bit of a psychedelic haunt. It's nothing like you've experienced in any other haunted house, so I recommend giving it a try. That is the path to Midwest Racers. This got the theme around when Midwest Racers was built. That's the exit. We'll take you through there a bit later. And here we have Joey's Red Hots. They're closed right now. They're about to open up. Very, very well-known Chicago hot dog place. Anyway, actually, let me take you up the exit first. That might be better. We'll, discuss some of the ride details inside. This is where you get your photo. And this is where you can buy t-shirts as well, which is awesome. This is our exit platform, and that's our load platform up there. Okay, so now that we're up here, let's talk about some general ride information. Mission is a Premier Land Coaster, custom layout. It's got 4 trains, each with 5 cars. Right now, it's Spring Festival, so we're running with all 4. But next month, we're going to go back down to 2. And we're going to be at 2 for a while, till about mid-May, when the other 2 are starting to get worked on, trains 3 and 4. We just did that with in January and February. And then for March and April, we're working on trains 1 and 2. Get them all up to snuff. Last year, they got new belts, and they're a bit longer, too, with the blessing of Premier Rides. They used to be as annoying as Flight of Fear, but now they're very consistent with each other. Believe me, I've checked. I'm fat, so I fit fine. And they're longer. They're about how Mr. Freeze fits at Six Flags St. Louis, which is fairly generous, so we're good on that front. Other than that, it's your usual Premier lap bar. The height is 160 feet, launches you to 74 miles an hour in 3.8 seconds. Length is 4,873 feet, and of course you have a max angle of 90 degrees. There are 6 inversions. There's a Coke roll, 0G roll, top end and side wider. You're probably wondering what this thing is. It's our water bottle holder. It's for water bottles because we allow water bottles in line. Used to be a stuff holder, but when we got rid of the bins, we shrunk it. So it can hold more water bottles. So you can bring your water bottle along. Because, summers are hot. I was working at Great America, got up to something like 98 degrees sometimes. Yes, the queue is air conditioned, but if it's hot outside, you're still going to want lots of water. Anyway, let's see. Positions. There are 9 positions. You have 2 here on the unload platform. You have 4 up there in the load platform. You have a grouper, you have a greeter, and you have controls. We can cut down to 1 back here in unload, 2 for load. But that's about it. So we can cut 3 positions, so bare minimum is still 6 people. And no, we cannot. We have to run with unload. Even if we're running 1 train, we still have to run with unload, so we'll still have to run 6 people for 1 train. It's very rarely going to go down on 1 train. 2 trains is kind of annoying, but it's only during combined total of 3 months out of the year, and we're running all year. So, plus the park's dead anyway. So, even on weekdays, the line for this would reach at most 15 minutes. Weekends it might get a little longer, but it's still not that long. Oh, look at me being a hypocrite trying to justify 2 trains. Anyway, that's beside the point. It's justified because it's maintenance. We're going to do rotations. Bump rotations. Starting with... starting with the unload on that side. Actually, no, hold on. There's a 10th position. There's an exit host, so we can do bump rotations. We can cut the exit host, but then we have to do load-only rotations, which is annoying. Okay, here they come. They're in the middle of rotation right now, so there is exit. Sorry, I haven't been over here in a while. There's an exit host, too. Exit host is going to mostly take care of alternate access. They're the last ones to be cut, by the way. And then they're going to start bump rotations. So they're going to rotate up to Greeter out there, who's going to then rotate to Grouper, who's then going to rotate actually back here to Load 2, then up to Load 1. Load 1 crosses, goes to Load 3, who then goes to Controls, if they're Controls train, and then Load 4 in the back corner, and then to Unload 2, and then Unload 1. And then to Exit. So Exit gives you a nice little break. It's nice. Trust me, it's nice when you're going as fast as you are during 4-train ops, which is going to be pretty much all the time. It's not like Mustang where we only run 4 trains when we need to. We will absolutely run 4 trains every single day that we have 4 trains going. Which is a lot, because our maintenance team is awesome. And the maintenance headquarters is right here. So literally, if a train breaks, they'll just come right out, fix it, and it'll be back in commission, usually within an hour. There was a time, though, where we ran out of trains during an off-season, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, what else for information? Oh yeah, loose article policy. Oh yeah, that brings us back to this. As you can probably tell already by the presence of the lockers and this thing, if it can't fit in your pockets, it doesn't come in the queue, and it certainly doesn't go on the ride. It's got to fit in your pockets. Otherwise, get a locker. They're free. There is no excuse. Take 10 steps over that way and go get your locker. Except for water bottles. Water bottles, like I said, you can bring in. Medical bags, if they're medically tagged, they can bring in. Gotta get that done at public safety up the front entrance. Water bottles and any other small items they put in here. We are not responsible for those. They get lost. Whoop-de-doo. Or stolen. That happens. That happens everywhere. Watch your stuff. The reason we let water bottles stay here instead of bags, though, is because they're much less likely to get stolen. If you leave your phone there, it's going to get swiped. Like, just leaving your phone anywhere in public is just asking for trouble, but I digress. Yeah. And, of course, except for the water bottle, everything you bring with you rides with you. Oh, yeah, that's right. We don't even let you leave the phone there. If it's not a water bottle, it has to ride. Shoes have to be worn. That's another thing. Enough about loose articles. Let's see. Rider requirements. It's a Premier LAM coaster. So the height requirement is 54 inches. Since it's not a very strong launch, the max isn't too low, it's 80 inches. Mostly due to clearance things. So, minimum 54, max 80. Let's see, what else? You have the individual lap bar and seatbelt. May not accommodate guests of large size. Even though it's more accommodating than it ever been, and I fit easily, you're still going to have a guest every so often that needs to get off. And we've accounted for that at controls, which I will tell you about when we get to restraint checking. Guests must have a minimum of 3 functioning extremities, 1 functioning arm, and 2 functioning legs. Which means the legs need to be all the way down to the legs need to have feet. Because of the ankle restraint, the legs need to have feet. That way, they can go under the ankle restraint. The arm has to be full with at least 3 functioning fingers. No cervical collars, no neck braces, no broken collarbones, no full arm casts, no brace arm casts, or full leg casts are permitted. Lower body casts, anything lower body, are not permitted. And prostheses and amputations are not permitted either. If you have one arm prosthesis and another functioning arm and 2 functioning legs, you can ride. You just have to take your arm off before and then give it to one of our ride ops to look after. We usually just pass it through the door and then exit host to look after it. Or pass it by the door and then exit host to look after it. Alternate access comes in right here. Exit host takes care of them. Use the A phone and then loads them in. They can also go through that door. That door is locked during dispatches, by the way. Well, they can also yell through the water bottle thing. That's another beauty of having that. It's multifunctional. What else? Riders will have to take several steps on their own or with help from a companion and be able to step down into the train, of course. And that's basically it. Warning, the ride does contain strobe lighting. It's got a camera. And the ride uses magnetic systems, of course. It's integral to the coaster. It's linear induction motor, so if you've got something like, say, a pacemaker, then it's probably a good idea to steer clear of this. Actually, a good portion of the rides at Thrill Yards have magnetic brakes, so if you have a pacemaker, first of all, if you have heart issues, you probably shouldn't be riding anyway. Right? For those people that can't be stopped, just be wary of that this ride has magnetic systems. Mustang doesn't have those, Wildcat doesn't have those, Panther doesn't have them. Still 3 really good rides. Collision Chaos doesn't have those either. But pretty much everything besides those does. Including, well, the Mylar Kitty Coaster and Toy Kingdom section doesn't have that. So you got 5 coasters to choose from. That's still better than none. So that's it for general rider info. Let's go through the door here. Better yet, let's just step in front of here. The next train comes in. And then we're going to go through the queue. Alright. Oh. Ah. We have to close your gate. This is our very big ride queue.
All items must be secure on your person.
Very, very big. So, if it's this far right here, this is about 20 minutes. If it's all the way outside, it's half an hour. These gates, this is speed rail. So these gates, in order to turn them, you lift them up, you turn them to the desired position, and then you set them down. You do it with these two. You do it with all of these gates, whether they're a half or a full. You lift, turn, drop. That's how you use those. Whatever this is, either 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Let's go over the switchbacks. Each of these is going to be another 10 minutes. So, let's say it's just over there. These are each 10 minutes, so that's going to translate to an hour of wait time if it's just this full. If that whole thing is full too, that's another 20 minutes. So that's going to be an hour 20. And then each of all these here are 10 minutes as well. So that one, hour 30, hour 40. And then out there are 2. Hour 50, 2 hours of queue time. And then you come in here, and then each of these 3 is another 20 minutes. So the whole thing full is 3 hours. 3 hours with 4 train operation, and the entire Easy Queue full. Speaking of Easy Queue, the entire Easy Queue full for Easy Queue is 30 minutes. No, it's 45 minutes actually as well. Which really seems weird, because instead of going in here first, you go straight to this portion, straight to this building. You bypass all that, but then you have a longer way around. Oh, I forgot to add in the last 10 minutes, so that's 3 hours and 10 minutes for full queue. Over here is 15 minutes for Easy Queue. And then about in the middle here is 30 minutes for Easy Queue. It rarely gets that long. The queue doesn't really fill up because the capacity of the ride is so high. But except for weekends on the Big Four, like you see, it's pretty full right now. It's about 2.5. It's about 2 hours right now, but only the Big Four, which are weekends in March, July, October, and December. So that's pretty much it for the queue. Let's go back out this way. You know what? It would honestly just be quicker to go back through this. Go back through the regular queue. And then go over to the exit that way. When rotating, you're going to entrance. You know, it's kind of sort of frowned upon to
all loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted. All items must be secure on your person. The engine lab is not
Sorry, these are a little weird.
Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times and remain seated with your head back.
That didn't happen.
The headrest.
It's kind of weird to rotate around.
Thank you.
It's kind of frowned upon to walk through the bushes, but if you do, you know, we're not going to kill you over it. Alright, exit. One last thing we need to go over before we get started. Alternate access. Alternate access is the same pretty much at any ride you go to. There's 2 types of pass. There's the normal pass for physical disabilities, the plan your day pass for mental ones. But of course, there are some exceptions to each rule. The green pass, the normal one, the yellow pass, the plan your day. The green pass, first, they go to Greeter. The greeter will give them a time. That is the current time plus the wait time. If they bought an easy queue, it's the current time plus the easy queue time. So first they'll have to scan, make sure they got scans left, and then they'll give them a time. After that time elapses, they'll come back here. They'll have written down their initial, the ride, and the time. Look at it, make sure they're okay, flip the booklet, flip the guide open one last time, make sure they don't have an X next to the ride, meaning they can't ride. If it's got a C, meaning conditional, make sure all conditions are met. If they're good, go ahead and cross out the time, and put them on the ride. And what are you going to do to put them? And how you do that exactly, we'll go over in a second. We go over exit. The other thing with alternate access is the Plan Your Day Pass, which is for mental disabilities. Not all disabilities are visible, and that's a big reason why the Plan Your Day Pass exists. So instead of getting a time and then coming back, you have a time interval. Any ride, you get one freebie at the beginning of the day. And this freebie can be almost any ride. The most popular rides, or the newest rides, will usually be off that list. And they'll usually also come with a stipulation that you can only ride them once using the current interval. Otherwise, afterward, they're going to have to wait. And then after that, if they want to ride again, they're going to have the wait time will have had to have passed before they come back. But this is not that ride, so it's not really that important to go into. Mission has been here for a while. After the refurb, we did that for the summer season, and then we stopped because, ride wasn't as popular to need it, usually. Anyway, this time interval can be as short as 5 minutes on the most dead days. We're usually, by the time you ride and come back, you'll only have to wait like a minute or two. Or by the time you ride and then walk to the next ride, you'll already be there. Like those weekdays in January and February, those are just and then on the most crowded days like today is a weekend for Spring Festival. The park is slammed. There are 75,000 guests right now, despite the colder weather. It is absolutely slammed. Today is a day that given the weather, we set it at 150 minutes instead of 180 minutes. But if it were sunny and warm, today would definitely be a 180-minute day. But I digress. That's how that works. They come by, their pass will have the previous ride date, ride time initial, and then it'll have the next time they can ride something written on it after. And then nothing gets crossed out ever on the yellow passes. So just keep that in mind. So they'll come by, you'll look at it, you'll make sure all of the same things as before, and then you'll write the ride, you'll write your initial, and you'll write the next ride time, and let them on. So now it's time to let them on. What do you do? So as you can see, there's an A phone right here. Feel free to reach across or come in the gate, use the A phone. Or it might be easier to just go here or open this door, give them a shout and say, hey, I have so-and-so, and they want XYZ row, or the front row. If they want the front row, by the way, I forgot to add, it's another 15 minutes, or 5 if you have easy queue. Oh, and for Plan Your Day Pass, if they have an easy queue, first of all, they'll need to scan. Well, no. If they have an easy queue, just cut that time in fifths. That time gets cut in fifths. So if it's 180-minute day, that goes down to 48 minutes. Did I do the math? Did I math that right? 36 minutes. Jeez, and I go to an engineering school. Anyway, give them a shout, say, hey! Say, grouper, I have group of 4, and they want the back row. And you can load up multiple groups at one time, by the way. You just have to, you can't load, you have to wait at least 2 trains between loading them. Or you have to wait 3 trains between loads. So, let's say we're going to put people on this train. You can load them again once this train comes back. Why don't you go ahead and check them in anyway? Just check them in right away. That way, the time they're waiting doesn't screw with their next ride time. Anyway. Give them a shout and say, hey, grouper, I have this many people, and they need this many rows. They're going to then go off and chain off those rows and say, either say, hey, I can get them on this train, or I'll get them on the next train. They can get them on this train. Unload can open the gates, and then can open these gates, and then we can load them up real quick. If they're waiting, we'll just do it next time the gates open. Anyway, you load them, and then unload will take care of the rest. So that's basically it for exit. I mean, you have a height stand and a height stick right here, just in case you need it. Just blow them, and then wait for the next one. In addition to that, you're pretty much going to be watching here to make sure nobody stores phones or small items or anything. Make sure people are... You're mostly going to stand here, and then alternate access will arrive at the door, and then you'll go over to them. And make sure people aren't storing water bottles along with whoever's working here. And of course, watch the train for anything unusual. Just be on the lookout. That way, if something's amiss, you can point it out right away. Alright, so let's go out to Greeter. I know that's a lot of information, but it's really the same information as mostly as any other ride. Just a premiere. I have a love-hate relationship with the LAM trains. The hate part of that mostly comes from Flight of Fear, honestly. But they're very intriguing trains. They're kind of comfy, too. If you're not, like, super big. If you're over 6'5", kind of, you know, proceed with caution. Okay, so. This is Greeter. Got your chair, you got your height stick, you got your A phone, and you got your park phone. To use the height stand, have them stand with their back against the pole. You're going to swing the top part slowly across. If it hits their head solid, they're good. If it so much as just brushes their hair but doesn't really hit their head or anything else, they're not good. Use the height stick for a first glance. If they're close, use the height stick. They're clearly covers. If you're unsure, send them to guest services to get a wristband. Come back with a wristband, lift them up. Give them a glance with the height stick, but lift them up. It's rare, but every so often we have to have area management come over and cut off a wristband. It's kind of unfortunate, but you know, c'est la vie. You're gonna stand here. Basically, you're gonna sit here, hold your height stick, and you're gonna watch for things. I don't know why I have it arranged like this. Usually, you're pretty much just. Usually, you're facing this way, because this is where guests come from. You're watching for several things. You're watching for extremities. You're watching for loose articles. You're watching for so many different things. And, of course, you're watching for alternate access who are going to need to come here and get times from you. Oh, wait, that's another thing I forgot to mention. If the ride goes down after you've signed them off, or after you've given them a time, they can come back. If you've already signed them off, basically just cross out the name. Basically just cross it out if they've gotten a time but it hasn't been crossed out yet. Or if it has been crossed out, just write the downtime. Just write down mechanical or down whatever with your pen. And then put your initials right next to it. And then they can go to the exit at any time. Let them on. Excuse me. You can also give them parent swaps. Let's say they have a little kid. If you're under the height requirement, you can't even go in the line. Sorry, you cannot wait with your family in the line. You can wait with them outside the line, though, and that's what a parent swap is for. It's a little blue slip you give to them. It's going to have their name. It's going to have their last name on it, which rides. Sorry. A little congested. Allergy season. Anywho. So, if the kid can't ride, then everyone in the party goes in line except the kid and 2 people. The parent swap pass is going to be given to the people who are waiting in the line. And it's also going to have... Yeah, they're going to wait in the line. And then they're going to carry the parent swap through the line. And they're going to ride. And then they're going to give the parent swap to the exit host. Or unload if the exit host is currently bump rotating. The other 2 who are waiting with the kid will then hand off the kid to the other party. And then the party comes back. And then a new thing we're doing to avoid abuse is that to make it easier to remember if it's the same people is replacing a 5-minute limit on the time between when the parent swap is handed to the exit host and when they can come in. That way it's easier to remember if it's the same people riding again. Basically, just be like giving yourself an easy queue, right? So that's another thing you need to watch out for. Anyway, once they've done that, exit host will write down the time, and then their initials, and then the other people will come in after having handed the kid off. The 2 people that didn't ride, give the name, give the last name, and they'll hand back the parent swap, and then they'll get boarded. Since you're also watching EasyQ, make sure you're paying attention to scans and item passes. Item passes are if they get caught at grouper with an item they shouldn't have. We're all human. Even if you're Mr. Perfect right up 1000, please. I've seen people from corporate work this position and they've let bags through. And again, they're a little rusty, so predictable. But either way, I've seen area managers let bags through. So don't. If you're letting a ton through, then we need to have a talk. But you know, if you let one or two through, whatever. Say la vie. Send them back out. Put their item in the locker. They come back. Wait in the easy queue with their item ticket. So that is pretty much it for entrance. Just stand here with your height stick. Watch out for things. Close the line. Listen for the park phone and the A phone. And that's it. Alright, who's ready to go on platform? Let's go in here. I know this isn't rotation, but, you know, since I always like to end with controls, we're going to do this a little weird. Oh, wait, we got to go over Grouper first. Grouper is has been made into a standing position
Loose articles are not
at any ride where you have to assign
items
rows.
must be secure on your person.
So,
the engine lab is not
you'll still be
responsible
sitting.
for that. Keep
Well,
your hands and
that's
feet
pretty much
inside the
almost
vehicle
all
at
of them.
all times, and remain seated, with
Except
your
for, like,
head back
very
against
few
the
where the
headrest,
volume is really low.
facing forward throughout
But for
your
this, you will
test.
definitely need to
Thank
assign
you.
rows. So, basically, you're holding your height stick still. This is your A phone. It's your height stand. Basically, you'll be holding your height stick, and you'll be watching out for the things. Yes, but you'll be assigning rows as well. Oop, which should help you. Didn't mean to hit that. Which should help you. Oh, and make sure you're directing people if they have water balls to put them in there. You'll be basically looking out for people as well.
Loose articles are not permitted. All items must be secure on your person.
So you'll be watching for those things with each group you assign.
Keep your hands and feet
you can
inside
load
the vehicle
however you
at all
feel.
times, and remain
What we
seated
do
with your
ask
head
is
back
that
against
if
the
there is
headrest,
if
facing forward
we
throughout
have
your test.
a line,
Thank you.
please try to pair up singles. That drove me crazy at Kings Island. If there are willing singles, please pair them up. Okay? This is ask first, but pair them up. At any ride that's 2 across, we ask first. If it's 4 across or more, it's mandatory.
Please secure all loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted.
And then if the wait time's longer than, say, an hour, just don't ask. Just pair them.
Not responsible for that. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle.
We have signs out there anyway that say singles will be paired.
Back against the headrest, facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
Or it says something like, single riders can ride, but most likely you will be paired up. Anyway, load front to back to front. Distribute easy queue and standby how you see fit, as long as you maintain a 50-50 ratio between you. What I mean by that is you can do 1 assignment regular, 1 assignment easy queue.
Please secure all
an alternate, or you can do half and half, or you can do a regular train of easy queue. Just do it how you see fit.
The engine lab is not responsible for that. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle.
Be cognizant of that ratio and make sure you're going half.
Facing forward throughout your test.
Otherwise, make sure you're going equal parts, easy queue and standby. Other than that, there's really nothing else to talk about. Like I said, we're gonna do this a little weird. We're gonna go this way and we're gonna cross over.
Please secure all loose articles.
Didn't mean to click that.
Loose articles are not permitted.
IRL,
must be secure on
this
your
gate would be
person.
fine, this
The
gate would
engine
be
lab
locked.
is not responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
These
and
gates
remain seated
and this
with
door
your
is
head back
magnetically
against the
sealed
headrest, facing
during
forward throughout your
dispatches, which
test.
means if the ride goes
Thank
down,
you.
they're kind of stucky-wucky. Alright, go ahead and go out here. Cross. Cross complete. Alright, let's go back here. Alright. Here's your A phone, here's your button. Once you're done checking along with your partner and putting all the lap bars up, you basically just hit this. And you basically just stay behind. You can walk wherever you want. Just stay behind this line. Only approach the train once it is parked. So you're going to see this train come in. So gates are open. Once those gates open, you're good to approach. Go ahead and go ahead and undo any and all seatbelts. Make sure the lap bars are all up. Because once both ready to move, because they relock automatically, there's a restraints button over there. And then go ahead and press your button. You can press your button at any time. As soon as both buttons are pressed, it'll advance. While it is advancing, you should be walking up again while staying behind the line. And we're going to start incorporating more of these walking safe zones into more rides. Into more of the rides that don't have pressure pads. Gotta do the same thing. There's some alternate access here. Go ahead and load them. Alright. You're gonna check them to check restraint. You're gonna, yep, let's give the lap bar and seatbelt a tug. Lap bar, seatbelt. Go back here, press your button. There are no clears back here because we used to do clears back here, but they're really hard to see. Basically, your clear is basically you're ready to move. Once you're ready to go, you're clear. We only do clears in those 4 positions. Alright, do one more. Because it's very simple. There's a little more song and dance over there. So go ahead, walk along the train. Make sure all the lap bars are up. If there's any alternate access, which there isn't, you'd load them in, you check them. Don't worry about too much about semantics. And then go ahead and hit your button. Alright. Give it back to him. Once the next train comes in, we're going to go ahead and cross. This button can be disabled from controls, by the way, if we need to go down to 1 exit. Alright. Cross. Unload cross. Cross complete. Alright. Here is unload 1. Got a few more buttons here. You got your E-stop. If your exit gates unlock, if you need to open those exit gates again, that'll do it. Open them for about 5-ish seconds. They close automatically. They open a bit longer initially, but if you need to open up again, they open up for about 5 seconds. Here's your lock restraints button, unlock restraints. They're going to unlock automatically when they park. Again, feel free to walk away, just stay behind this line. You're going to be taking care of alternate access too. If there's while exit is rotating, or if exit was cut, so basically you're going to be taking care of that. Otherwise, you're also going to be walking up and down, making sure that the train is good. And then go ahead and press that lock restraints button, or unlock restraints button. No, wait. Then you're gonna press lock restraints and ready to move. Or you can, I prefer you do it that way, or you can stand back. If there's alternate access, you can go ahead and load them in. Then come back and press lock and then check them. So go up here, you're gonna go ahead and open the restraints, make sure they'll all open. Make sure the alternate access has their seatbelt in, and then press lock restraints. Yeah, you're basically only checking the seatbelt back here. Because basically you're just making sure they can fit. Up there is when we do final restraint verification. Look at me sounding like I'm IROC. Yes, I ditched that thing long ago. Anyway, then you come back, you press lock restraints for it. Yep, you check while the restraints are up hard. You're just checking the seatbelt, that's it. While restraint verification will be taken care of with load. Alright, do one more. Alright, more. Alright. And undo this one. Go ahead and hit your button. Lock. Ready to move. Yeah, it's very fast paced and it's only gonna get faster. Alright, give it back to him. Like I said, you don't have to stay at that panel. You can walk as long as you're behind this line. So watch out for the opening gate. We're gonna cross again, by the way. While you're all the way up here. Cross. Unload cross. Cross complete. Alright, we're gonna start. We're gonna start here. At unload 4. Unload 4 has an A-phone right here and a walking safe zone.
Loose articles are not permitted. All items must be secure on your person. The engine lab is not responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
So basically, you're only going to check these back for.
Facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
It's going to be down barred already. Alright, go ahead and lap bar seatbelt, lap bar seatbelt, lap bar seatbelt, lap bar seatbelt. Then you're going to come back here. You're going to, don't worry about unload. They're independent. You're going to do your eye cycle, and then you're going to throw out your low clear because you're the first clear. And boom, launch.
Please secure all loose articles.
It's that simple, it's that fast.
All items must be secure on your person. The
Go ahead and walk back up.
Responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times and remain seated with your head.
All right, come on, let's go, people. We need to get this train out quick.
Throughout your test. Thank you.
All right, arms up. All right, locked, locked. Okay, push hard, push hard, push hard. There you go. All right, good. All right, go ahead and do your scan. Put your low clear out. All clear.
Please secure all loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted.
Yeah, this is easily the fastest paced ride at Thrill Yards. It's not even Mustang with 3 trains is this fast.
And remain seated with your head back against the headrest, facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
Alright, just sit down, hands up, feet down. Alright, there you go. There you go. Sit forward a bit. And gotcha. Okay. Hands up. Thank you. Hands up. Lap bar seatbelt. Here's your, give me the belt. Alright, thank you. Alright. Put your clear out. All clear. Awesome! We're gonna cross.
Loose articles are
You got the hang of it.
All items must be secure on your person. The engine lab is not responsible for
You're
them.
probably
Keep
like,
your hands
what
and
just
feet inside
happened?
the vehicle at all times and remain seated.
Hang on a
with your
second.
head back
Cross.
against the headrest,
Cross.
facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
Awesome. This is load 2. Basically, you're going to do the same thing you just did, but on the other side. Oh, and you're the second low clear.
Please secure all loose articles.
You're also the second low clear. So you're going to watch for this clear, and then you're going to give the clear so that Enable can see you. So basically, you're just going to do the same thing. Then you're going to check this gate. Feel free to leave this gate open, by the way, just in case we have to, walk a shame anybody. They can just come through here and go there. Go through that. Also, just scream up bar and what number. You don't have to hold up your hand. Controls can see everything in here. Next train will get started.
Please secure all loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted. All items must
Your scan's pretty much going to be the same.
The engine lab
Alright, watch for when the train stops.
Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
Alright, go ahead and open this gate.
With your head back against the headrest.
Gates are opening, gates are opening.
Throughout your test.
So everybody's in, start making your way up. Alright, hands up. Alright, thank you. Alright, hands up, thank you. Hands up. Thank you. Alright, sit forward, and alright, you're in. Alright, go ahead and check the gate, check the door. Put out your clear. Alright. Yeah, this one's more, but wait till you start getting to the front positions. That's when it's going to start to get crazy.
The lab is not responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times.
Yeah, people love this ride. They have a lot of fun with it, but it is tiring.
Thank you.
It is really tiring. Alright, they're pretty much in. Alright, hands up, please. Alright, gotcha. 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 Alright, you're good. Alright. Close this gate. Tug, tug, tug. Scan. Put your clear out. Yeah, he had his clear up already. All clear.
Please secure all loose articles.
Alright, one more train, then we'll move on.
Not permitted. All items must be secure on your person.
Yeah, it's very fast-paced. It's ridiculous with 4 trains, but it's also a ton of fun. It's a ton of exercise. If you don't fit on this and you work the ride, trust me, after a month you will fit. I promise. This is a workout. Alright, hands up, please. Sit forward. Sit forward, sit forward. Gotcha. Alright. Hands up, thank you. Oh, give me the belt. Alright, thank you. Tug, 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 clear.
Please secure all loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted. All items must be secure.
And you can have your spot back. We're gonna go this way.
Is not responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times and remain seated.
You can sneak out this gate if you want. Just make sure it's closed when the train dispatches.
Thank you.
It's weird. This one, on the other hand, locks. You have to check this one. Alright, welcome to Enable. Yes, this is a mushroom button. This is new for 2020. Got your e-stop, your load gates open, close, and your launch. The load gates are automatic, so they'll open automatically. You just have to turn it to the right real quick to close them. You'll really only need to turn them to the left to open them if they're in manual. You're going to check the first 6 seats on your side.
Items must be secure on your person.
So you got to be quick because you're checking more seats. After that, you're going to come back. You're going to tug on this gate. You're going to do your scan. You're going to check inside the tunnel. You're going to look across for this clear and that clear. And then you're going to put up the high clear, hold down the mushroom until the train launches. Got it? Good. It's pretty much it. But we'll go ahead and go through it. Just don't cross this line. And try not to walk too far away from the panel since you have the e-stop, but you know. Do what you need to do.
Please secure all loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted.
Alright. It's your first.
Must be secure on
Alright, here we go.
You're
gonna see just how fast you need to do it.
Inside the vehicle at all times, and remain seated with your head back against the headrest, facing forward.
Riders, come on in. Gates closing in 3, 2, 1. The gate closed. Alright, gates are closing. Alright, hands up. Our seatbelt. Up our seatbelt. Give me your belt. Okay, there you go. Our seatbelt. Up our seatbelt. Run over here, check this. Alright, come back here. I clear up. All clear. As soon as that train launches, you can let go. You can let go and you can put your clear down.
Be secure on your person. The engine lab is not responsible.
Yes, it's a mushroom, but you only need to hold it down for a little bit.
Inside the vehicle at all times, and remain seated with your head back against the headrest.
Okay, come on in, please. Gates are closing in 3, 2, 1. Gates are closing. Hands up. Alright, hands up, please. Alright, sit forward. 1, 2, 3. Alright, you're in. There you go. Gates. Clear. Clear. Alright, high clear up. All clear.
Please secure all loose articles.
Yeah, sometimes it launches a little quicker, sometimes it launches a little slower. It's really not consistent at all. Alright, you seem to be getting the hang of this, so we'll do one more train. Everybody, come on in quickly, please. Gates are closing in 3, 2, 1. Gates are closing. Hands up, please. Alright, sit forward. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Belts. There we go. There we go. Great. Gate. Here. Scan. Very clear. Put up your eye clear and all clear.
Please secure all loose articles.
We're gonna have to sweat. Alright, when the train parks, we're gonna cross real quick.
All items must be secure on your
Guys, wait till I cross
the
the port,
engine lab
please.
is not responsible for
Go ahead and take your spot
Keep
back.
your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, and remain seated with your head back against the headrest.
Cross.
Facing forward throughout
Cross
your test.
complete.
Thank you.
Alright, welcome to Load 3. You have a nice walking safe zone, just stay behind the line. You don't even need to walk all the way back to your safe zone, that's the best part. Put out your clear, you're gonna want to start here. Once those gates close, you're gonna want to start checking your seats, front to back.
Please secure all loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted. All items must be secure on your person. The engine lab is not.
And then you're going to want to duck back here, do your scan, and throw out your clear, because you're an independent clear. He needs to look for your clear, so go ahead and start back up here.
Thank you.
Wait for the gates to close. Hands up, please. There you go. No, you do not need to check repairs. Alright, sit forward, please. Sit forward, sit forward, sit forward. Alright, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Alright, now put out your clear. It's that fast.
Please secure all loose articles.
Trust me, walking safe zones have been integral to getting this thing running 4 trains cleanly.
Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all
We didn't even
times,
start
and remain
running
seated
4 trains
with your
again
head back
until we
against the
had
headrest, facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
reprogram. Hands up, please. Hands up, hands up. Alright, hands up. Thank you. You didn't have your belt in. Great. Hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up, please. Alright, belt's gotta go in here. Alright, thank you. Alright, put out your clear. All clear. Alright, we'll do one more.
All loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted. All items must be secure on your person. The engine lab is not responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, and remain seated with your head back against the headrest, facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
Line's usually a lot quicker. You see it is because we get so many people through it. Alright, hands up, please. Hands up, hands up, hands up. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Step forward, please. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Alright, you're good. Hands up, hands up. 1, 2, 3. Alright, there we go. Just like that.
Please secure all loose articles. Loose
Alright,
articles are not
that's
permitted.
it. Who's ready for
All
controls?
items must be secure on your
See,
person.
that was really
the
fast.
engine lab is not responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside
When you're
the
filling out
vehicle
those
at all
surveys.
times, and remain seated with your head back against the headrest, facing forward throughout
When you're
your
filling out
test.
those surveys, like for Facebook, or to get a freebie, and they're like, whoa, that was really fast, slow down. No, we will not slow down. Alright, step up here, please. Introducing the new for 2020 panel. That's right, it's Irvine Andre, in case you couldn't tell by the wrap on the panel there and there, and the presence of mushroom buttons.
Please secure all loose articles. Loose articles are not permitted. All items must be secure on your person. The engine lab is not responsible for them.
Let's go ahead and go
Keep
over
your
it.
hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, and remain seated with your head back against the headrest, facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
Let's do... Alright. So you got your park phone on the left, A phone on the right, as usual. You have your fire extinguisher. This needs to be checked once a month. Flipped over. Got your spare height sticks down there, your water cooler down there. Just take it over to Joey's Red Hots in the morning, fill that sucker up. Or if it starts to get low, then we have an extra between breaks or something. We can take that over and get that filled as well.
Please secure all loose articles.
This is your mic.
Loose articles are not permitted. All
It's
items
a
must be secure on your person.
foot
The
pedal
engine lab
mic.
is not responsible for them.
It's a button mic. Just hit this button right there to transmit.
And remain seated with your head back against the headrest, facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
And then in the center is your panel. Panel's pretty simple. The control power. It powers the panel pretty much. So if it's not on, the ride will not be on. Got your ride mode, auto, manual, transfer. You need supervisor key for that. Right now the ride's in auto mode,
Please secure all loose
where it'll pretty much move itself. Manual mode, you'll need to manually do the blocks. To do that, you go to operation and then go to blocks. And then you'll do the blocks from there. Usually leadership will do that, or maintenance. And transfer is transfer mode. We're going to have one person go out there and operate the panel. They'll give us, and then we'll watch over them. Together, you just walk around there. And transfer controls are out there. There's also, if you need to, you can go on the table as well. There's a light out there. Maintenance mode. Self-explanatory. Entrance gates are set to auto right now. For any reason you need to hold gates, you just set them to manual. And then they open manually over there. And then you have to actually open them over there for them to open. Break-in mode. Also the fun mode, as we call it. On most other premieres, that's usually a maintenance switch buried deep within the ride system in another room. Here we put it on the panel, because it's practical. See, in order to have multi-move setup, we had to make sure that a rolling deck train would stop short. Leadership has the key to do this, by the way. Or for it to stop short, we had more brakes. And we have a winch out there. So it's going to stop short for a rollback. And then, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a red marking out there. Basically, you're going to bring the winch, you're going to attach it to the back of the train. There's a little hook on the back left corner. And then you're going to press the winch button, and it'll automatically winch back to the point to where it should be aligned with the red mark. And once it is, disconnect the winch. Toss it into break-in mode. Do your clears. And then hit launch. There's going to be an alarm that sounds. And then it's going to launch a little faster than normal.
Please secure all loose articles.
Break-in mode can also be used from here by maintenance only during empty test runs, during, say, commissioning or something, to make absolutely sure it makes it through the layout, and it absolutely tears through this thing. The normal top speed is 74, the break-in top speed is 80. It's not dangerous to ride in break-in mode. I've tested the G-forces. The worst you're going to get is like 5.7 at the bottom of the top hat. And you pull more than that on Shockwave at Six Flags Over Texas. And you're going to pull that more than that on American Dryer Looping at Indiana Beach, whatever year that opens. But it does put a lot more wear and tear on the magnets and the electrical system, and it puts a lot more wear and tear on the coaster. So that is not viewed favorably. As in, it's a safety. If you launch a full train of guests, in break-in mode, it is a safety. Break-in mode is only to be used for rollbacks and maintenance for testing with empty trains. Acknowledge button. This ride's going to throw errors when it doesn't like something. And when we first installed the IOE system and we were ironing out the bugs, and this would have happened with a consign system as well. This is any new control system. It's going to have teething issues. It used to throw errors a lot. The first thing you would do, no matter what the error is you would hit that acknowledge button. Acknowledge button basically shows the computer you acknowledge that there's an error and that maintenance can take their next steps to fix it. As soon as you get over here, which is usually very, very quick. This ride has the shortest downtimes of any ride in the park because maintenance HQ is literally right there in the same building. They don't even have to go outside. They can just come in through there. Next to your lock and unlock restraints button.
items must be secure on your person. The engine lab is not responsible
And
for them.
then you can also unlock individual cars. That's a new, really cool and really helpful feature with the Irvine Andre system. You can unlock individual cars. There is a pedal, and it's pretty easily accessible, just like on Mr. Freeze. But still, it's much easier to just up-bar it from controls. Because if you're a short person, you're not going to have an easy time reaching that pedal. So basically, the person raises their hand and goes up-bar, and sometimes you don't even have to raise their hand because you can see them pretty easily. They'll go up bar 1, and then you're just gonna... There's no HMI enable, so you just hit this guy. This will light up green, and then you just hit lock and lock restraints. And then you hit lock and lock restraints to lock it again.
The engine lab is not responsible for them.
And then you hit unlock all.
Inside the vehicle at all times, and remain seated with your head back
this would be
against the
yellow.
headrest, facing forward.
Say unlocked, and it's unlocked.
Thank you.
And there is no seat sensor belt. The belt's pretty much your own verified. Your associate gates. If you need to unlock any of these gates or that... We need to unlock any of those gates or that door in maintenance mode while it's locked. It used to be magnetically locked manually, but now it locks automatically during the cycle. You need to unlock it while the ride's in error, mid-cycle and in error. And if the ride goes down, we can have maintenance just kind of do that. But it has to be in maintenance mode now. We completely reprogrammed it. It's much easier. You just have to worry that the gates are like fully closed and manually locked. They will magnetically lock mid-cycle. E-stop reset and E-stop, self-explanatory. When E-stop is pressed, you gotta press this after you pull this guy up. Your ride start basically starts up the ride. When you start up the ride, there'll be a big old alarm and a thing that says clear low zones, clear launch area. Trains are about to move. Clear low zones. Clear launch area. Trains are about to move. Means if your dumbass is in a low zone, get out! Just shouldn't be, because we had someone walk in the morning and do locks in daylight. So if they did that and then there's somebody in the low zone anyway, we have a problem. Anyway, release brake is something you can go to. Something for maintenance if they need to release brakes anywhere on the coaster. That's another thing that they can do in maintenance mode. And then there's your launch button. Like that one, you only need to hold it down until the train launches. After that, you can let go. Other than that, we have a lovely HMI. Go to errors, lets you go see your errors. It'll flash if there's an error. That's your trouble light. If it's flashing, that means there's an error, but it won't stop the ride. If it's flashed, then this will probably be on too. Then it stopped the ride. Go to counts will show your hourly, daily cycle counts. Go to operation. Shows you the blocks. Go to main, shows you the main menu. Go to telemetry, shows you things like the weather. It's like last cycle time, average speed, average cycle time, things like that. Y'all shove that in there. We didn't try and shove everything into the main HMI.
Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times and remain seated with your head back against the headrest.
Any of these you can go to without it being a maintenance mode. Certain ones you'll need maintenance mode. Auto mode green. I'll show if it's an auto mode. Winch and break-in. Show you if the winch is active. Shows you if it's in break-in mode. Shows you if it's in transfer mode. I already explained this. These are all your readies. If they're green, they're good. You want all green before you dispatch a train. This was gonna have pressure pads, but then we converted to walking safe zones, so these are pretty much useless.
All items must be secure on your person. The engine lab
We have
is
your
not
readies.
responsible for them. Keep your hands
You
and
have
feet
your
inside the vehicle at
entrance
all
gates
times,
closed,
and
exit
remain
gates
seated
closed.
with your head back against
If you
the
notice there's no
headrest,
train advancing on this
facing
station, look at
forward
the
throughout
exit
your
gates,
test.
see if they're open.
Thank you.
Oh wait, this doesn't need to be green, and these two don't need to be green. But you need a upside down U here, and then these four. So, let's see. Oh, you don't need this guy either. So you just need anything that says pad on it, and the exit gates don't need to be green. So it's just these 8.
Please secure all loose articles.
We'll have IOE redo the HMI at some point.
Secure on your person. The engine lab is not responsible.
Let's look at
keep your hands and feet
see where all the gates are. Associate gate 1 is that guy. Associate gate 2 is that guy. Associate gate 3 is that guy. Keep in mind, associate gate 2 can be opened during the cycle. It just has to be closed at the start of each cycle. Associate gate 4 is this door. Once those are all green, launch time. So what do you do on a cycle-to-cycle basis? It's actually really simple. The train is actually already fully downbarred when it rolls in. The only thing you'll need to do to touch the HMI for is if you need to unlock a train. If you need to unlock a car, the whole train.
With your head back against the headrest, facing forward throughout
but here's what you can do to make things faster. You can scan. You can scan as the train's coming in where the LGs might be, where the tall people might be, who might have trouble getting this restraint. And then once the train parks, you can proactively, and you can't hold it down to keep it locked like you can on some coasters. You have to do it both steps after the train is fully parked. You can up-bar a car as they're loading, and then once they're in, they'll give you a hold a fist up, they'll give you a down-bar symbol, and you can down-bar it. So basically, you just watch and you wait. Load side. And once that's all done, you watch for your high clear, and then you make sure these 8 are green. You say all clear. You say all clear into the mic. So really, you want them more than anything be over here. Clear into the mic, and then you're going to hit the launch button, and that's that. All right, next train. We're going to hand it over to you. Isn't this a beautiful panel? IOE makes the best panels. Comment below. Are you Team Irvine Andre or are you Team Kansai? I want to hear what you guys think.
Facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
Team IOE or Team Kansai? Alright, go ahead and sit and listen. Let's watch and wait. Watch and wait. Watch and wait. Alright, everything's green. All clear. There you go.
Please secure all loose articles.
Just kind of stand at an angle over here.
All items must be secure on
2 more trains.
The engine lab is not responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times and remain seated with your head back against the headrest, facing forward throughout your test. Thank you.
Unload cross. Cross complete. Way to be proactive with your cross. I might institute a rule later that you can only cross through unload. That way things don't get slowed down. All clear?
Please secure
Alright, one more train.
Loose articles are not permitted.
A row 5
All
looks like he's
items
gonna
must be
need some
secure
help.
on your person. The engine lab is not responsible for them. Keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times, and remain seated with your head back against the headrest,
Up bar.
facing forward throughout
Up
your
bar
test.
3.
Thank you.
Is he good? Down bar. All clear?
Please secure
Awesome, awesome.
Loose articles are not permitted.
Alright,
All items must be
pretty much it.
secure on
As
your
soon as the
person.
train parks,
The engine lab is not
give you
responsible
some
for them.
last
Keep your hands
thoughts, and then
feet
we'll
inside the vehicle at all times.
wrap it up.
And remain seated with your head back against the headrest.
Alright, step back here, give him back
Thank you.
that. Let's rotate through unload. These doors can be open, by the way. Cross, unload, cross. Come on, let's go through here. Let's walk and talk. Let's go out of here. Give us a nice semi-panoramic view. Alright. Here she is. You operated this beast of a ride. And you now know how to. So you can go take your test. It's wild. It's pretty tough. It's your attendant test is 45 questions, although they're pretty straightforward. And then your visual board is 30 questions. You need to get 40, you need to miss no more than 5 on the attendant test, and then no more than 2 on the visual board. So, it's actually pretty straightforward. The toughest thing about this ride is just the sheer speed at which you have to do everything. After a little while, you'll get the hang of it, and you'll start to get it, but trust me, it's tough. It's made a lot better, though, because you get to work in an air-conditioned building. So that's good. It's climate controlled, it's nice. Keep it pretty cool, it's refreshing. That's why so many of the other crews are jealous of this ride, because it's air-conditioned, it's awesome. Anywho, hope you had a blast with that one, and hope to see most of you on Ignition Crew in the future. So, thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you later. Peace out.